next.
We do have a Dallas guy next.
Oh, look
It's
at
funny because this Dallas guy, we don't even know if he's going to be a starter this year. We don't even know if he's going to play for Dallas this year. We have Tim Hardaway Jr., fantastic shooter.
yeah,
Back when he was in New York, he was a star, and he still put up a very good year last year, to be honest.
yeah. I mean,
Considering that they had the other two players on that team, he put up a great year.
yeah, I mean, it's the guy who essentially replaced Barnes there, right? As great as
Yep.
Barnes would look there, Hardaway Jr. doesn't look bad there either. They could keep him, they can move him. They did add Josh Richardson. They do have Finney Smith. Like you said, maybe it is pretty crowded there, especially with Doncic being able to move around so much. But at the same time, they don't have a backup point guard. Maybe they just move Doncic there. They're able to run through all these guys and still give them all minutes between shifting them between small forward and shooting guard up between all three of them. But yeah, Tim Hardaway Jr. himself. I mean, whether it was a guy in the Knicks who is pretty much alone on that team, or a guy in Dallas who is the third fiddle or fourth fiddle, even he finds a way to contribute, and he does it in a pretty efficient fashion. Um,
He just had his most efficient year from the three-point line.
yeah, I
And
was
it,
going to
like,
say
it was a great year.
one of the best three pointers on this list that we have. I mean, his 7.5 attempts and his percentage was over 40, if I'm not mistaken.
But it was 39-8, so very close. But I was on 7.2 attempts. He's put up that many attempts before in his career, but he's just never hit more than 350 regularly. He did it once ever. But with that being said, this just goes to show that Tim Hardaway Jr.'s role in the NBA is as that third or fourth star, is as that spark plug who's going to come in and put up minutes, but who's not going to need, you don't need him to put up 25 points a game to be competitive, 20 points a game to be competitive. Well, he benefited heavily from having Doncic there, from having Porzingis there, from having other options, and he had open shots. He didn't have that when he was with New York. He didn't have that in Atlanta. He didn't have that in New York the first time, for that matter. But he's always been put in a role where it's just, Tim, go out there and shoot. Go out there and shoot. Get us some points. We need some points. That's actually made him lack on the defensive end early in his career because he put so much focus on offense. On Dallas, I think his defense is coming up. I still think that Dallas would rather a player like Barnes, who might be play a little bit better on defense, for that matter. But Hardaway Jr. is a fantastic shooter. He is a great player on that team. He's having career years for that team, and I think he's going to keep putting it up.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a guy too who, when they needed more from him last year, he did step up and give them a bit more. I mean, post All-Star break, his minutes went up by about 8 minutes per game. He played 19 minutes post All-Star break, and he averaged just about 19 points per game. He also went up to 8.5 threes per game, or just over eight, and his percentage did drop a bit, where it went just under 39%, and that's where he dropped under 40 for the year. So, like you said, a guy, when they ask a bit more from him, yeah, he puts it up, but he does lose a bit of efficiency. So when Dallas is healthy, it's really the perfect player for them, honestly.
Yep, couldn't agree with you more. And I think it's a great position for him. I was actually surprised to see him that high. I was not expecting him to be in the top 15, but I think that looking a little bit deeper, especially with this fit on that team, especially if they don't pick up another player, because if they do pick up another player, Hardaway Jr. is probably going to be the player involved in that trade, so he's not going to benefit from another player, or he's not going to get hurt from another player. But on this team right now, he is a perfect third star. He's going to keep contributing, and Dallas is going to be successful.
Yeah, I mean, he's also one of the best wins added players, a small forward at
Yep.
5.4. So even though we talk about how, yeah, when he does need to score, he does lose a bit on the other end, again, when you can find that middle ground, a really good
It's
player.
fantastic. He's a great player.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's why he is that high. He's a perfect fit for that team. Uh, right on top of Tim Hardaway Jr., we'll probably talk about Tim Hardaway or his father all day. But right on top of Tim Hardaway Jr., we have here at number